There's really only a few things that are certain in this universe, and death, taxes, and Jim Harbaugh, rumors to the NFL during the college football offseason happen to be three of those things. Just a season ago, we were assured by Coach Harbaugh that he was going nowhere. He was a Michigan man to stay, and that this would not become a yearly occurrence. And then here we are again talking about Harbaugh to the NFL. Now, you could say, and I have said, that a lot of this is the media that's stirring this up. It's not all on Coach, right? He tends to be a relatively private person. He tends to talk in weird, proverbs and euphemisms and different. He sometimes you have to decode what he's saying, and the media likes to run with that stuff. So for a lot of this, I've been backing Coach Harbaugh and been saying this is much to do about nothing. But some of this is starting to feel very real again, and it's starting to feel like it did last year when he interviewed with the Vikings. It had a very clear impact on recruiting, and it kind of looks like we're in that same scenario again. So Harbaugh came out recently, in the last week since I recorded the last pod with Lexi last week. And he did have a statement about the rumors about going to the NFL. He said, quote, "I am aware of the rumors and speculation over the past few days. College and NFL teams have great interest in all of our personnel, from players to coaches to staff, and I truly believe that it's a testament to the strength of our University of Michigan football program. As I stated in December, while no one knows what the future holds, I expect that I will be enthusiastically coaching Michigan in 2023. I have spoken with President Ono and Athletic Director Ward Manuel and appreciate their support of me and our program. Our mission as Wolverines continues, and we are preparing for the 2023 season with great passion and enthusiasm. As our legendary coach Bo Schembechler said, those who stay will be champions." Well, that about clears things up. Kind of, not really. It feels like he could have maybe more firmly denied the coaching rumors. He said, "I expect that I'll be enthusiastically coaching Michigan." A lot of vague language, and part of that is just how Harbaugh talks. I think he doesn't feel like he needs to give the media too much to run with, but in doing so, he tends to give them more to run with. He could have given us a very clear and enthusiastic, "No, I'm not hearing any coaching offers. I'm a Michigan man. I'm here to stay." To put things in perspective, here's Juwan Howard's statement last year when the Lakers came knocking. Juwan said, "There was a report of my name as a potential candidate for NBA coaching opportunities. While I am flattered and know it will more than likely happen again, I am not exploring, seeking, or listening. I am the head coach at the University of Michigan! Exclamation point. I am blessed to be working at the greatest university in the world. I am blessed to be guiding a group of wonderful young men. We have goals, dreams, and championships to win. This is where my focus is. Go Blue." That's a little different than what we heard from Coach Harbaugh. What Coach Harbaugh said was like, "Yeah, I'm committed to the team and I'm going to be here next year, I think." But then it turns out he's potentially fielding offers. Some stories even go as far as to say that the Harbaugh camp are the ones reaching out to these potential teams. CBS Sports just released an article that claimed that Harbaugh persistently initiated the talks with the Carolina Panthers, and that in fact was not an interview, but the Harbaugh camp persistently initiated the talks. So there's a couple ways to interpret what's going on. It could be Harbaugh jockeying for position, right? This might be a signal to Ward Manuel about the fact that Jim Harbaugh is currently the 12th highest paid coach in college football, and he's been to the college football playoffs 2 out of the last 2 years, right? Consecutive years. And so that would theoretically make him one of the 2 or 3 or 4 best coaches in the nation, certainly higher than 12. And so he might be jockeying for a contract, which would be fair. Technically, if anybody has the right to work themselves out a better contract, it's Jim Harbaugh. The thing that makes me a little skeptical about that line of thinking is that Harbaugh has never really been motivated by money. He, in fact, he took those pay cuts very publicly last season. He got bonuses for making the college football playoff and donated it back to university employees whose jobs were cut due to COVID. It doesn't really feel like he's going to push to be the highest paid coach in college football or anything like that. But when it comes down to it, we all want to feel valued. We all want to get what we deserve. And Jim Harbaugh is no different. If he's consistently fielding one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the country, I think he wants to be one of the top 4 or 5 coaches in the country and have, the salaries on his staff to keep this wonderful assistant coaching staff that he has together. But there are some other concerns. So these NFL rumors, these talks with the NFL, and by the way, as I was recording this episode, as I was preparing to record this episode, is when all of the leaks about the Denver interview came out. And so now we have this new information about the Denver Broncos that there's going to be a Zoom interview that Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh tend to be the leading candidates for that job. So, and this is after Harbaugh came out with that statement. So it's very real that he's talking to NFL teams, unless these stories are completely bogus, which there's no way they are. And if they were, I feel like Harbaugh would come out and discredit them immediately. The thing that's a little worrisome about this is, of course, this is going to affect recruiting, right? In 2023, it affected our recruiting, and we know it. We had a much lower ranked class than we should have coming off of a playoff appearance. And then something that we might not think about quite as much that's very real, Sam Webb of Michigan Insider. And if any of you know Sam Webb, I mean, this guy's close to the program. When it comes to Michigan news, this is the guy to listen to. Sam Webb said recently that donors are hesitant to give at the moment with the future of the head coaching job unclear. Now think about that. In the land of NIL and facilities and program momentum, money drives everything. And who generates the money, right? It's the university and it's the donors. Now, if the donors are hesitant to donate at a time like this with the head coaching job in jeopardy, of course that's going to it's going to affect the program and it's going to affect recruiting. So Black Monday is tomorrow. By the time you guys are listening to this pod, Black Monday will be upon us. What is Black Monday, you might ask? Well, that's the day in the NFL that's the day following the final regular season game. It's typically when most of the hiring and firing news in the NFL ramps up and gets the loudest. For about a week or two, we really will see a lot of movement. And that's where Jim Harbaugh's name is going to get thrown around. It's going to be interesting to see how Harbaugh responds to this. Is he going to come out and shut it down? Is Ward Manuel going to come out and competitively outbid the NFL or give Harbaugh some of the things that he might need or might want in this situation? For Michigan fans, it's an anxious time because we're watching and things could go a lot of different ways. Harbaugh and this staff may return and make another run. We've got JJ and Donovan coming into their junior seasons with talent across the board on the defense and the offensive line. It just might be the most talented team we have returning in 15, 20 years. Or is Harbaugh going to walk away from that? And potentially we go on the search for a head coach, right? And I'm not going to get into the head coaching talk yet because we just don't know where we're at or what's going to happen. We'll talk about that at a later date if we do in fact need to hire a coach. But